love Montreal. I've left it and I've come home.
It's my hometown, so I like almost everything about it. Mainly the action, the people. It's lively.
It's like a second Paris. I mean, it's like a little Paris.
Bonjour, mon ami.
Hello.
Bienvenue à Montréal.
Hello.
Welcome to one of the most vivant or lively cities in the world, and one of the few where you'll hear both French and English. It's called Montreal. And though its 2 million people come from all over, the roots are definitely French. They date back to 1535 when French explorer Jacques Cartier discovered this island on the St. Lawrence River. He named it after the small mountain that stands in the middle of the city, Mount Royal, or as the French say, Montreal. And if you walk around the old city, you really can step back in time. But with the old is also the new, the chic, the fashionable, and Montreal is also all of these. On streets like Crescent and Sherbrooke, you can get everything from fabulous furs to fine paintings. And it doesn't stop, or as the French say, arrête, here. St. Lawrence Street is the melting pot of the city. You'll find people from every nationality. This is also a great place to sample some of Montreal's famous smoked meat. What's that? Tell them, Morris.
This is brisket smoked. It takes 5 hours to smoke the meat. Well, many people are making smoked meat, but not old-fashioned like we are doing it. We never put any chemicals in the meat. Never.
Okay, now if you like the taste of Montreal that you've gotten so far, there's a lot more below the surface, literally. Besides the famous metro, Montreal has the world's largest underground city with close to 1,000 boutiques and restaurants. Not a bad way to escape the cold winters. These people give the phrase, "get down," a whole new meaning. And speaking of that, wait until you see the nightlife. Night or day, Montreal is a special city, and people like it for many reasons.
For the smoked meat. Capisci?
Theater is nice, movies nice, everything's nice. The nightlife is very good.
Fabulous restaurants.
Montreal people are a bit more open to new things.
It's the world's greatest mix of people. All nationalities, all races, and they seem to get along really, really well.
The French have a word called mélange. It means mixture, and perhaps that best describes Montreal. It's a mixture of old world charm and sophisticated style, where skyscrapers stand on cobblestones, and where bonjour is heard just as often as hello. It's a city where contrasts mix in harmony, and where people really have the joie de vivre, the zest for life.
Of course, not everyone in Canada speaks French. In the capital city of Ottawa, which is only about 200 miles from here, it's very, very British. As a matter of fact, every afternoon you can see the changing of the guard just like you could every day at Buckingham Palace. Our next story may worry you. We're going in search of Canada's version of the Loch Ness Monster, Ogopogo.
A savings storm is brewing at your Carolina Chevy dealers. Limited time savings during National Truck Month on the first new design of the decade, the full-size Chevy pickup. Now available at your Carolina Chevy dealers for as low as $194 a month before discount. Power disc brakes, power steering, radio, chrome bumper, rally wheels, and more. Plus, save up to $1,900 in options on many S10 models, some as low as $143 a month. Come home to Carolina during National Truck Month, but come back. It all ends November 30th.
Shoney's Breakfast Bar is brand new, all over again. And with our great new toppings, scrambled eggs will never be the same. The sausage, rice, and hash browns are new. We've added more fresh fruits, plus fruit salad, cottage cheese, and tasty yogurt. The cinnamon drop biscuits are new. So are the apple cakes and sweet rolls. And now, there's French toast and pancakes every morning. The Breakfast Bar at Shoney's. Now, it's brand new. Again.
Sainsbury Vision Center's extended wear or daily contact lens package, including eye exam, is sale priced today at only $119. Take advantage by scheduling an appointment. Glasses wearers appreciate the huge selection of avant-garde and Burdell frames with Sainsbury's quality one-hour service. For fashion frames by avant-garde and Burdell or the contact sale package, call Sainsbury today.
The Sainsbury Vision Center, there's a difference you can see. Do-wop-bop-bop-ba-doo, now there's peaches and fruit.
Oh, I know, it's fruit and... Oh, it's new, and it has all these luscious peaches. Sing it again.
New peaches and fruit.
With all these peaches, it's easy to forget.
You're gonna love it just for the taste.
Sweet sun-ripened peaches, fat raisins, crunchy almonds, and high-fiber flakes. Introducing a peachy new post-fruit and fiber cereal.
I knew that.
Tastes so good, you forget the fiber.
You're gonna love it just for the taste.
Scotland, with its story of the Loch Ness Monster, has nothing on Canada. As a matter of fact, over in British Columbia, they have a mystery that's been going on for centuries. Tonight, we're going to go in search of Canada's own Loch Ness Monster.
In the southern interior of British Columbia lies Lake Okanagan. This 80-mile stretch of water borders Kelowna, BC. It's a popular vacation spot for Canadians and Americans who come here for fishing and boating. And according to some people, Lake Okanagan is home to an unidentified swimming object called Ogopogo. In August 1980, CKIQ radio reporter Yvonne Svensson and 3 colleagues were working the station's boat patrol when they spotted what appeared to be a log out on the lake.
But when we arrived on the scene, we discovered it wasn't a log at all. In fact, it looked like flesh sticking up out of the water, very dark flesh. We didn't see a head or a tail, but it was bobbing up and down and moving forward in the water very slowly. So we rowed up to it again, and at the point it heard our engines or something and quickly went underwater. So I was somewhat skeptical, although I'll leave my mind open scientifically to there being a large species of fish. But after I saw that, I started thinking again and have changed my tune quite a bit. If someone tells me they've spotted Ogopogo, I don't immediately laugh at them now.
For over 100 years, people have reported sightings of this mysterious creature, Ogopogo. Skeptics say it's nothing more than a tall tale created to attract tourists to the town of Kelowna. But believers say there's too much evidence to ignore the fact that there is something unusual residing in Lake Okanagan. Probably no one in these parts believes more strongly in the existence of Ogopogo than Arlene Gall. The Kelowna area resident says she's had 3 close encounters with the creature. Over the past 15 years, she's become known as the Ogopogo expert, writing books about this phenomena and investigating sightings.
It seems to appear, show up between 10:30 in the morning and around 2 in the afternoon. This is the time of the majority of sightings, and probably it comes here to feed. And I feel that this is a species that's common to most freshwater lakes throughout the world, not only in Lake Okanagan.
And here's what this creature might look like.
People will describe it as being anywhere from 20 to 60 feet, even 70 feet in length, dark brownish blackish color. If they see it fairly close, it would have sort of a skin, fleshy texture to it. At times there would be ridges on the back.
Is this a monster?
No, no. It's an animal species that hasn't as yet been identified. That's it. Okay,
Through the years, Arlene has collected volumes of research on Ogopogo. She's gathered a wide variety of still photographs and videotape recordings that show unusual activity in the lake. She also acknowledges the hoaxes, like this photo with a cartoonish Ogopogo. Despite all the uncertainty surrounding this phenomena, Arlene makes it very clear that this is no joke to her.
I'm just firmly convinced that there is something out there, and we just can't deny the evidence that has been gathered. You can't just push it all aside and say it doesn't exist. It's there.
Some people watching this would say it's a bunch of garbage.
Skeptics are good. They ask questions, and when they ask questions, it prompts you to stop and say, hey, you know, have I analyzed this correctly? Have I looked at all the angles? Am I certain that it is an authentic sighting? That's good.
What also seems to be good is Ogopogo's value as a tourist attraction.
Have to come all the way from Holland to see the Ogopogo, eh?
It's a big draw for the town of Kelowna, which proudly brags about the mysterious creature. A local tourist association even offers $1.2 million in prizes for anyone that captures Ogopogo alive and unharmed. But Arlene Gall hopes that reward will never be paid. She has other ideas.
I think that what's required here is that if we had an expert like Jacques Cousteau come to Lake Okanagan, it wouldn't take him very long to find the creature, photograph it, and allow us to know exactly what it is. So, Jack, if you're listening, please, we'd love to have you.
In the meantime, Arlene Gall and others will go on believing in Ogopogo and hoping that one day this so-called creature of the lake will show itself for all to see.
Next spring, a Canadian investor is going to take a submarine underneath the lake to try to locate the creature. He's also going to be playing heavy metal music to try to attract the creature. So it'll be interesting to see whether Ogopogo is attracted to Def Leppard and Twisted Sister. When we come back, we'll see the city underneath the city of Montreal.
What you are about to see really puts a man's antiperspirant to the test. A perfect place to test new Trust for Men antiperspirant. Check it out. No matter what makes you sweat, new Trust for Men is powerful protection. It checks wetness. It checks odor. It is total protection. You can trust. Trust new Trust in stick, roll-on, and spray. Get the total protection of Trust for Men.
Years ago, Henry Ford won the world over to the Model T, a leader in sales and value. And now, during Carolina Leadership Days, that tradition continues with the Carolina's #1 selling truck line, Ford. Some trucks come with free factory air conditioning. Most come with $500 cash back from Ford. But all come with a great Carolina Leadership Days price. See your Carolina Ford dealer, #1 in sales and quality care.
Hi, I just moved in next door. Could I borrow a Diet Pepsi?
Sure.
When you go all out for taste, the taste to go out for is Diet Pepsi.
You okay in there?
Here's your Diet Pepsi.
Thanks. I hope it wasn't too much trouble.
No trouble at all.
Diet Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
If you want it done right and done for less, you get to it yourself. You HQ it yourself.
Hey, we've got a bright idea. Get 2 Sylvania 150-watt floodlights for only $3.99. Mighty bright light from Sylvania, mighty nice price at HQ.
You want it done right.
You'll find it right here.
And done for less.
Don't be left out in the cold.
Don't just do it yourself. HQ it yourself.
2 convenient locations in Columbia.
All of you down there in the south are probably watching us up here in Montreal thinking, yeah, it looks great, but I'll bet it's too cold up there this time of year.
That doesn't bother the folks who live in Montreal because, you see, anything they need to do when it's cold outside, they can do underground.
I think without the underground, it wouldn't be Montreal.
I don't think we'd get anywhere as fast as we do right now. Not at all.
The first thing tourists always ask me is how do I get to the underground, exactly where it is, and exactly is it as beautiful as they've heard it has been.
And for good reason. When Montreal built its subway system, they created more than just a way to get around town. They molded a city beneath the city, the underground. It's 8 miles in circumference and loaded with banks, shops, boutiques, and restaurants galore.
It's nice to come down here. You don't have to go out into the cold or into the hot summer if you don't want to.
You can live 30 days underground, eat 3 meals a day, and never eat in the same restaurant.
Rayal Blaine should know it's his job as chief of protocol to ensure a high quality of life for Metro riders, right down to the air they breathe.
The transportation is a necessary evil that to make sure that people have quality of life. And this is the artery of life that people can go underground, following an idea of Leonardo da Vinci 5 centuries ago, who thought of making walkways for pedestrians. So we just applied this system in Montreal.
A stressless metro is the goal, and the transit folks have gone out of their way to make sure no chore goes undone, right down to returning that library book.
This is the first time a public library is placed within the metro system. And they have put out about 12,000 to 15,000 books a week.
Montreal's commitment to quality of life goes deeper than stores and books. What is left above is just as important as what goes below.
We didn't want to displace the church and lower the quality of life, since there's concerts there every day at noon. So the city, alongside with the building developers, got together and just raised the church, or stood up the church on piers.
Over 300,000 people a day venture down under to travel in style, Montreal style, that is. And you know, this relaxed shopping mall atmosphere makes going to work just a little bit nicer.
You walk down over here, there's no traffic, no cars, no nothing. It's much easier to go.
And those of you who are aware of my shopping habits, yes, the Underground is linked to our hotel.
Yeah, you could pull off the coat and enjoy yourself, right? Well, tomorrow night on PM Magazine, besides visiting Montreal again, we will be jetting around the world and discovering the true lives of the royal and the famous.
And David Nelson's going to share some of his special TV memories and say that he stops at nothing to clear his brother Ricky Nelson's name.
And we'll meet a Canadian dedicated to keeping the 19th century alive when we get a taste of the French countryside. All on tomorrow night's PM Magazine.
Please join us.
Good night.
Good night.
Travel arrangements for PM Magazine's trip to Montreal made through Eastern Airlines. This year, fly with Eastern to a memorable vacation. Eastern, we've got your ticket.